Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dragon pregame show here at Jim Mayo Stadium. We're pregame before the matchup between Fairland and Trimble. Trimble is a small D7 school out of Gloucester, Ohio, up above Athens, Ohio. And then, of course, we're 2-1, a D5, pretty good sized D5 school, one of the bigger D5 schools. So good matchup for us. I know in the past, Trimble has just been a powerhouse D7. Coach Ferris?
Phil Ferris.
Phil Ferris has been up there. He was back-to-back state runner-ups in D7 a couple years. Just a powerhouse program for him up there. I want to talk a little bit about what we got coming up this week, some things tomorrow that we've got. Tomorrow we have the Run by the River up at the board office up on our cross-country course. I saw on Monday, and they had not closed, we had 155 high school girls entered in the race. We were right at 200 and some boys, and middle school was right around 130 to 150 in both races coming in there. We're going to have a fun run starting at 9:30. Middle school girls was going to be at 10. Middle school boys, 10:30. High school girls at 11, and then high school boys at 11:45. Again, it's a great event for us. A lot of people will be there. Parking will be at the board office, and it'll be on the other side of the bus garage. You can come in either gate. Be $5 per person entrance, and plenty of parking. We're going to get you in there, but allow plenty of time because we do have a lot of cars coming in there, one way in, one way out. So we do have a lot of time to do that. On Monday, kind of got a unique soccer situation. All three soccer teams are going to play at home here on Monday. The middle school team was going to play at 4:45 against Chesapeake. Then the high school boys will play Portsmouth West at 6, and then the high school girls will play Ironton at about 8 o'clock. So it's going to be, a fun-filled night of soccer here on Monday night. Soccer teams have had pretty good success. Middle school got to brag on Yardley a little bit. Middle school soccer got to win on Wednesday night here 1-0 over Portsmouth. And then they went down to Wheelersburg and tied 1-1. Wheelersburg's a great middle school program, great program overall. The boys got beat here last night by Wheelersburg. Girls got beat. But out at Rock Hill the other night, the boys got a big win. I believe it was 5-1. The other night out at Rock Hill. So they're successful. They're on the winning side. Junior high program's growing all together. Coach, you want to fill us in on the rest? I know we've got volleyball and everything else going on.
I wrote all these down, so folks at home, we just think we're just about football. We want people to know we support all these other sports. But Coach, volleyball's got 4 games this week.
You got a tough week?
They got a game tomorrow up at Logan Elm.
I got 3 games at Logan Elm.
Well, yeah, it's a tri match. That's right.
Yep.
And then come back on Monday, play Portsmouth West at home. Wednesday, it's Portsmouth at home, and then they come back, I guess, Thursday, and they play South Point at home. Is that correct? Does that sound correct?
The Portsmouth on Wednesday there sounds a little odd, but...
Well, that's what was on the schedule.
It's on the schedule. It may be a little bit odd one in there, but we'll go with it and see. I haven't looked that far ahead yet. I got to get through tomorrow, then I'll start looking at next week.
Then, let's see. We talked about soccer. I mean, girls, again, like you said, they're playing on the 11th. They're playing... Ironton at home, and on the 14th they're playing South Point away. The boys, you said the girls play at 8 p.m., right? The
girls play at 8 p.m. Monday, yes.
So the boys play at what time Monday?
6 against Portsmouth West here.
Portsmouth West. Okay, then on the 12th they play Portsmouth at Portsmouth, and then come back on the 14th and play South Point away.
Correct.
The girls.
Correct. So busy week for all of us. Cross country will be somewhere next weekend. I can't exactly remember where it is, whether it's up at Rio Grande or where it is, but they'll be back in action again the following week. So, all of our athletes are doing some great things out there. We've had some personal bests set by our cross-country runners, Coach Dara and her husband Phil have just done a great job with that program. Mary Haynes with the volleyball program has just done wonders there too. So now let's kind of turn our attention to what we're going to see tonight. I talked to Coach Jackson a little bit, and he said that Trimble's going to pound and ground.
Well, I saw them, just happened to be down at the school down the road, and they were scrimmaging the school down the road, and they looked like they had a couple good running backs. Now, that was early. I don't know. They've only played 2 games. So, and they've won 1, lost 1. By the way, Coach, I don't know if you know this, but they did beat Nelsonville York at home. 14-12.
Wow, that's a big win for them.
Yeah.
You're a high school football coach that's taken your team to the state championship game and runner-up for 2 years, and you lose all that talent, and then you bring in a bunch of young ones. And last year they struggled. They had a tough year, but obviously this guy knows football, or he wouldn't be up at Canton.
Right.
So he's gonna come in here and he's gonna try to win this football game. Hopefully, I talked with Coach Jackson a little bit too, and I said, well, I hope there's somebody who's going to pay for that butt kicking we took last week.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, do we want to talk about that first, or we want to talk about Trimble first?
Well, we could talk for probably about 30 seconds worth. We were up 7-0. We played well. I felt like we played well in the first quarter. We challenged them a little bit, and then the game just kind of got away from us. And it wasn't X's and O's got away from us. It's just
Jimmy's and Joe's. I mean, I was telling Coach, we didn't say anything on the broadcast, but I'm going to tell you, their front three down defensive linemen controlled that game.
They did.
I mean, that was really the difference in the game.
Ball. I'm anxious about going and watching them play tomorrow against Cabell Midland. I've seen both those teams play. Cabell Midland's got some studs. They dress almost 100 kids. We've got 3 kids that signed major D1 schools, West Virginia, Marshall, and NC State. And they got a back that, man, he pounds it hard. But Ironton's got everything. They got receivers. They got a quarterback from Cabell Midland that transferred in from Parkersburg South, throws a pretty ball, very accurate, and it ought to be a dandy tomorrow at the Jones.
I feel like last week that, honestly, that first quarter, I think Ironton took us kind of lightly. I really did. But after we scored, light switch flipped, and it was a different ball game, Coach.
We ruffled their feathers.
Yes. I think that's what you call it.
What it is. And it was Ironton's got some special kids.
Oh,
the Sean Terry kid,
unbelievable.
Probably one of the more special football players I've seen at Ironton since Drummond.
Yeah, but there's one adjective that describes that young man: elusive.
Yes, he was elusive. He made some moves in traffic, per se, that was just crazy.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Is Matt Bloomfield.
Right.
I mean, if you remember Matt when he played here, he did some stuff like that.
So but again, Ironton's a great team. They're going to be a good matchup. Who you got tomorrow night? Midland or Ironton?
Oh man, I can't. It's a pick'em game, Coach. Pick'em.
I think so too. You're playing on a neutral site, and
Ironton's a home team and a West Virginia school, but it ought to be a dandy. I'm telling you, I can't wait to go see that. I just hope the lightning stays away.
I agree. Chesapeake is playing the conference game tonight. I know Colgrove South Point are playing.
Right.
Is it Rock?
Maybe Rock Hill. Maybe Chesapeake Rock Hill. But I know Colgrove South Point are playing tonight. That's a big game.
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth Rock Hill. Or South Point, Colgrove.
Is it?
So it has to be Chesapeake. Portsmouth. Tonight, I believe so it is.
I don't know, because I looked and then I forgot.
You guys are around it all day long.
No. Coach, I'm here scribbling notes before we got here because there was no time today.
Coach, we have a lot of
eat lunch today.
I did get to do that.
He did sit down and eat lunch. I don't know that he sat down. I seen him walk around the table one time with I believe it was a ham sandwich, and he was mumbling something about something I need to do 8th period, and I said, Coach, listen, I got to run out to the stadium and do a couple things, and then I'll get to this. I did get to that 8th period, whatever it was. I can't even remember what it was now I had to do. But we don't get a lot of time, Coach. We talk a little bit about some things, but I do know I do know Colgrove South Point. South Point's 3-0?
No, they lost.
That's right.
2-1.
2-1.
Boyd County thumped them pretty good, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
I can't believe they beat Russell last week?
Yeah.
And
they beat him pretty good.
Yes. And I lost my train of thought. Senior moment.
Coach, do you think
Colgrove game? That's mine. They were down 42-24. Came back and won that game 48-42.
Yep.
That was amazing.
I think the one thing tonight, how many times over under does Jay Lucas run 32 or 33 trap?
Oh, well, they got 10 games. That's 10 of them right there. With it every game. But I don't know. He does.
He's watching when we play him. He's going to run something completely different.
Chase Hall, man,
He
he
was tough.
got probably, 90% of the carries last year?
Last year. Yep.
But I don't know what he's got to replace him, but they must have something.
Bill Murphy's
48.
son, who used to be the Proctorville police chief, sorry, he's now the running back down there. Now, I haven't seen any film on him yet, but Coach Jackson and I were talking yesterday, and I said about Colgrove and some film, and he said, well, Jeff, he said, listen, he said, I just put on 93 season there the other night, watched Colgrove, and he goes, it's the exact same thing. He goes, it's different kids. He goes, they're still going to run the same defensive set, still going to run the same offensive set, just different kids. So I'm going to pick South Point in this one. I'm going to pick South Point with the upset tonight.
Oh, wow.
South Point with the upset. I think they said something like 28 years since South Point had beat Colgrove, I believe is what Chase Kratzenberger told me. Something crazy. I know the WSAZ was down there for Fired Up Friday this morning. So I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to say South Point over Colgrove tonight.
I'm going to keep the Grove.
Did we do the Grove in South Point last year?
We went down and watched them.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys
okay.
went
I was
scouting.
going to say, it
We,
seemed to me
we
like-
had an off week, remember?
Oh,
And you and I went down to watch Chesapeake and Gallipolis, which
right.
and we got
right.
bored with
Yeah,
that game
it was
and went on down the
21
road.
It was like 28-0 in the first quarter, so we went on down to watch South Point and Colgrove.
But that one ended up the same way. And Chase Hall, how many times they run that
Yep.
straight dive and he just
It just wore 'em out. Who we got next week, Coach?
We are at home against Rock Hill next week. We're home tonight.
Three
The next, three straight. The next two, Rock Hill and Gallipolis.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he's got a nice team.
yeah, he's got a real nice team. They got to be playing conference tonight too. Other than us and Ironton, everybody's in the league tonight.
Is Chesapeake playing
Gallia?
Gallia?
Yes,
it's
it's Chesapeake Guy. I remember talking to Adam this week and him telling me that he was playing Chesapeake this week.
Well, I'm going to say Chesapeake gets the first loss.
Hey, fix your cord. You were this way all last week, and
Hey.
it bumbles and mumbles.
Oh, well, it's a senior moment.
Fair. They always told.
You gonna fix the McCall?
I'll put your tag down here. They told me that I was going to have to take care of my elders one day, and I didn't know it was going to have to be you two.
Well,
So Chesapeake Gallia. I don't.
it's
Chesapeake's
Gallia.
3-0, but I don't think Chesapeake has an answer for the Shamblin brothers.
You know,
and
Gallipolis
Franklin
is playing. I mean, Chesapeake's playing a lot better, but I think Gallipolis has just got.
Yep.
I just think they have more athletes.
Oh yeah, I mean they're the Franklin kid, great receiver for them. Both Shamblin kids, good running back. The other Shamblin's playing quarterback now that Fuller had graduated. I know they had to replace a few linemen. They had the big Clary kid that ended up at Marshall, but still they were able to reload. I know I talked to Adam quite often, and they're still pretty daggone good ball club. So that leaves us with must be Portsmouth Rock Hill then.
I think that's who it is.
I think you said that earlier.
Yeah, it must be Portsmouth Rock Hill.
Well, I don't know. You know, here's what's crazy about this. If Rock Hill can keep the ball away from Portsmouth, just grind it and run the clock, I think they've got a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Portsmouth, again, has got some really skilled athletes. And if they get out in open space and
They lost a really good quarterback.
well, that's true.
Yeah,
They did.
Yeah, and they've kind of changed their game plan. Joe and I have talked quite a bit. Their AD, he said that they're more running the ball. Coach Cobb has took over the offensive lineman. They're trying to run the ball a whole lot more. They got some skilled kids in the backfield. But I still think Portsmouth is just too much for Rock Hill.
What do you think, Coach? I don't know. To me, right there, that's a toss-up right now.
Well, you know.
Where are they playing at? Do you remember?
Do not. It's either Portsmouth or Rock Hill. They're not playing neutral. So it's
Boy, I'll tell you what, this is a smart guy right here. You know
Yeah,
that?
very intelligent.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You have to be when you play center.
Well, you
Yes,
know what? I'm
yes.
going with Portsmouth. I'm going to. I think they have skill kids.
Well, team speed's got a lot to do with it too, Coach.
It does.
Probably got some speedsters.
It does. While we're waiting on Coach Jackson again, a lot of things going on here tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a middle school football team that is coming up and playing South Point here tomorrow. It's kind of an odd game. We
What
played
time?
soccer here. It's going to play at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that must be after Cassie's game.
Yep, right after Cash's game. They're going to play 2 A-team games tomorrow. From my understanding, they're going to play a JV A-team game.
Is that right?
And then
Good. Good.
we're going to get we're going to play the middle school game right after that. We're going to keep the same officials, just kind of reset, reload, and play middle school football.
Well, go
after-
A-team. That A-team scrimmaged Barbersville last night and waxed them
did
32-6.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who else
Got-
is on that team with Cash?
Cunningham, Amari,
Amari?
and I don't know anybody. I should, but I don't.
Several other kids. Let's talk a little bit about our kicker, Aiden Miller. Last two soccer games.
Wow.
The last two soccer games was out at Rock Hill the other night. He had an indirect from about the 38-yard line, top corner of the net,
Over top of the goalie.
over top of the goalie. Then turns around last night against Wheelersburg here from the 41-yard line, nothing but the back of the net. I mean, that's the two outstanding kicks. We figured the one last night was about 48 yards in the air, and it just right in the top corner of the net. Now, I didn't get to see, I've seen video of the one out at Rock Hill. Last night's was impressive. He got that free kick here on the sideline. His dad was up in the press box with me, and he said, he got an opportunity to do this. Oh, there ain't no way. And he hit the top corner, just perfect, just right out of the reach of that. So, big leg, and that's why I was telling Coach Jackson. I said, Coach, I think anything inside 40, I think you got the opportunity to put him on the field.
He has been impressive the last couple of weeks. He's 8 for 8. 8 for his last 8. I know he missed a couple early against Portsmouth West, but since then he's 8 for 8.
But he did tell me this. It's a lot harder to kick that oblong football than it is a round one.
Right. He did.
Well, he's got a good leg, a good strong leg. I think he ought to try him inside from 30 in.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, he's I seen him kick soccer ball a couple times last night. That was very impressive. Just a free kick and then kicking that goal down here. So we'll get Coach Jackson in here with us.
Hey, there he is.
Coach, we talked a little bit about Trimble. I know that you and I spoke just a little bit. You said a pretty strong running game. I saw him come in the locker room that looked like a couple decent-sized linemen and a couple athletes wearing some athletic, 30 numbers, 20 numbers. Tell us a little bit about what we've seen on film this week.
They run the wishbone, but they don't run the option out of it. They're lead and trap out of it. They like to boot pass out of it. Number 8 is a hard runner. Number 2 is a hard runner. They got good leg drive. Quarterback runs the ball real good. They run a quarterback trap out of it. 32 is more probably their scat back, I would call, but they like to line up in the eye and the bone. They're spread out every now and then, but not very often. They run a sprint draw that worries me. They run it pretty good, and that's a play we've worked on a lot because in the couple games of film they had pretty good success at it. So that's one of the things we got to watch.
I think one of the big things is you're going to get out of Trimble. You're going to get mistake-free football. They're well coached. They're disciplined players, so they're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. You're going to have to make them make the mistakes.
Oh yeah, I can't even count. I can probably count on one hand in the two films how many penalties they had. So that tells you they're disciplined and well coached, and a good tradition. I think it was 16 or 17, 2018, something like that. They was in the state championship game in D7. So, in the high, it don't matter what division, you make state championship game.
You're pretty good, yeah.
In the high, so, they was young last year. I think they only lost 3 seniors off that team. So all these kids out here had a bunch of playing time. So you're older, you're stronger. So I expect all kids better be ready to get hit in the mouth because on film it looks like they're physical. So if it shows on film they're physical, they are physical.
They're physical, yep. I agree. We're not going to talk about last week, so tell us a little bit about maybe what we may see out of you tonight.
Let's get back to what we do. Get back to being us. Monday we threw it up, watered it up, and got rid of it. You know what I mean? I told Coach earlier, 30 years ago, if it was on VHS tape, we bone it, rip it, whatever. It's digital now.
Right.
You can't,
It doesn't mean as much when you just hit delete, does it?
Right. Somebody's got it somewhere,
Right.
So, that second quarter just unraveled on us, and so I got to do a better job of preparing our kids when things don't go our way to be ready to come back. And we didn't do a good job of that last week, so hopefully I fixed that this week, me and the staff. And it was a hot week of practice, and they bought in, and let's hope they show it tonight.
Coach, I was telling them, I don't know whether I think you had left before we had the big free kick here last night on soccer. Aiden Miller hit one from about 48 yards out. So I think you get inside the 30 tonight, Coach. You may be thinking about him. He
just went from the 45-yarder. I think he went like 3 for 6 out here in warm-up. So he's definitely getting better every week. That he told me that first week, I'm sorry, Coach, it was just jitters. And I said, that's all right. Let's just fix it. And he's been good since.
8 for 8.
And last week, 2 extra points perfect, and we knew they was going to try to move Terry around on kickoff return. We was like, just don't kick the ball to him, and he did a good job of not letting Terry touch the ball on kickoff. So
I thought that was your plan. I kept telling Coach. I said, would you kick it to him? No. I said, I wouldn't either. I remember when the Chris Pfizer kid down in Chesapeake, we didn't kick him the ball.
I mean, you know, he caught 3 passes and had 3 touchdowns, so I'm not stupid. We're not going to give him many more chances than we can possibly give him.
Coach, he is one of the, as Coach Harris said, he's one of the most elusive players that we've seen.
Oh, yeah. He reminds me of a guy we had here 10 years ago, Nathan Campbell. You know, don't ever take the big hit. He knows how to avoid the big hit. And I call it sweet feet or soft feet. You know, he knows how to do that. So, you know, and I told Coach Pendleton I hope to see him in about 10 weeks again. You know what I mean? So let's hope we fix our mistakes.
That's right. Coach, we're going to let you get back to your team. We're going to let these guys get upstairs. Good luck to you tonight. 3 hours. We're going to see you in the winner's circle.
Good deal. I just want to say, you all probably said, but you don't know, Mike Trainer's his last game for us. He's done a good job for us the last 6-7 years. He's come a long way from being a graduate fresh out of college to now. So we're sorry to lose him, but can't ever blame a guy for going on bettering himself, you know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
You're talking about him. He's over here. It looks like he's taking an earring out of a cheerleader.
he helped anybody do anything, you know what I mean?
He will.
But,
So,
thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
To kind of reiterate what Michael said, you know, Trainer Mike has been with us several years. This is his last night as a full-time trainer for us. He's took a better opportunity, a better job. So we're excited for him and his future and what that's going to hold. He's going to be dearly missed. It's one of those things where we tell him all the time, you know, once a Dragon, always a Dragon. You're always welcome back here at any point in time. We've had several guys. Dave Siebert, that was an outstanding trainer for us. Izzy, I can't remember, Izzy Golf. She's down at Florida State now working. We've had some outstanding trainers, and they always, anytime I see them or have the opportunity to talk to them, they always talk about their time at Fairland. So it's one of the things that we've told Trainer Mike. He's a Dragon for life now. Once a Dragon, always a Dragon, and he's always welcome back. And we appreciate everything Mike's done for us, and not only for our teams, but for us individually. Anytime that any of my coaches, my teachers, younger kids have gotten hurt or something's wrong with them, we've been able to call Mike up, and he's took care of us, whether it was getting in. He was originally with Scott's Orthopedic, and was getting it in with Scott's, or then when he turned over to Marshall Sports Medicine Institute. Just an outstanding job. So we can't say enough and cannot thank him enough for everything he's done here at Fairland. So, guys, we're going to tune out here. We're going to go upstairs and get things reset. We got some new exciting stuff tonight that we're going to do. We're going to have a little opportunity to do a halftime interview with Coach Jackson when he comes off the field and some other things. So we'll see you back here at 6:50, correct, guys? Round at 6:50?
We're going to try.
We're going to try, get everything reset, and be ready at 6:50. Dragon Nation, have a good evening.
Good evening.